Shri Kumarswami, Mahavidyalaya, Ausa, District Latur. It's organized a world record daily webinar series. Today there is 363 days of the series. And the keynote speaker for today's session is with us Honorable Dr. Sushma Verma ma'am. So first of all, I heartily welcome to you, madam.
Thank you, sir.
I welcome the chief organizer of the series, our ideal principal, Dr. M. Ambedkar sir. Also welcomes faculties from my college, IQAC coordinator, Dr. Sanjay Kale sir, and others, and also welcomes all those dear participants. The topic for today's presentation is role of epigenetic in diseases. Now this topic is going to present, as I have mentioned, Dr. Sushma Verma ma'am. Let me introduce. Presently, she is serving as an assistant professor at the Department of Personalized and Molecular Medicines. Ma'am is serving at Era University, Lucknow. So with this brief introduction, I request you, madam, please start your presentation on today's topic, role of epigenetic in diseases. You are most welcome.
Thank you, sir, for your nice introduction. I am honored and privileged thank you, Dr. Ambedkar, sir, who gave me this opportunity to share my knowledge in these sessions. So, myself, Dr. Sushma Verma, I am assistant professor in Department of Personalized and Molecular Medicine, Era Lucknow Medical College and Hospital, Era University, Lucknow. So, I am working on diabetes and glaucoma and cardiovascular as well. And there we are targeted therapy. We are working on targeted therapies. So here I am just sharing some important aspects. How can we delay onset of our diseases, or we can manage our diseases in better way? So today, our international conference, Dr. Paula says that we should have focused and happy. And yesterday, she's talk about the morning walk and how you spend your time with nature. So they talk about a spiritual view, but I'm going to talk about the molecular view, how these nature or how these activity change our body mechanism. So I'm going to discuss about role of epigenetics. So before going to epigenetics, I want to sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
The slides is not changing. Okay, sir. So it take lots of time. So before going to genetics, before going to epigenetics, I want to share. Tell you about what is genetics. Genetics is a hereditary properties which is uh, transfer from one generation to next generation. So this genetics is how this genetics is occurred. So we all are 99.9% same, only 0.1% we differ, and that difference make that how we will react for a particular drug and how we are susceptible for a particular disease. So this 0.1% difference occur in a various way, like VNTRs, tandem repeats, and SNPs. So these we have millions of copies of genes, and from maternal side we accept 3,000 million base pair, and from paternal we accept 3,000 million base pair from the paternal side. So these base pairs showed how we will be in our future, or how we will behave for a particular drug or disease. So we all are different in a various way, like psychologically, thought process, and how we are working for a particular things, and how we react for a particular situation, what is our IQ level and all. So these all are just because of our genetic material, how these genetic material do the difference in our different way. We currently we 16 people are joined in this session, but all 16s are unique in nature, in behavior, in perspective, in thought process, in every way. They all are different. So why they are different? They are different because of these genetic material create miracles. So genetic material, wait a second, it create lots of issues with me. So this one is a central dogma. Genetic material DNA is formed with the ACGT four base pair, and these four base pair repeated several times, millions times, and create a different individual and different things. So if this slides is showed or not?
Yes, madam. Yes, it's visible. Please
Okay.
continue.
So if I'm just keeping it simpler way, this is called a central dogma of life, because life is circulate around this whole mechanism. If we imagine that this DNA is a bait cursor, and transcript RNA is some departmental head, just like a college have the departmental head, and department have the several faculties. So Baker sir suggests HODs to do the certain kind of things. Then these HODs give the information to the teachers who do the different kinds of work. So in our body, in our cellular level, DNA is a brain who command in the frame of mRNA, and this mRNA transform in a protein, and protein do the several activities. So these proteins create the whole things, whatever we are doing, whatever the basic metabolism we having, these proteins do the several things. So first of all, how these genetic material transform, and how these genetic material uh, compactly arrange in a nucleus. So 6 feet long DNA compactly arranged and stored in a tiny nucleus, which we can't see by our naked eyes. So how it arranged? It arranged by it is a double helical structure, and uh, this one is the histone octamer protein. This tail-like structure is, you can see, this is the histone tail. We can say that it is a histone tail, and this one is the double helical structure. So it's surrounded 146 base pairs are surrounding this histone proteins. So histone protein is a positive in nature, and DNA is a negative in nature. So both are the opposite charge. That's why they wrapped around, and this wrapping is known as the beads on the string. How? And this one is the slightly compact, but some more proteins are come in the scenario, and they again compactly arranged and form a chromosome. We all know the chromosomal aberrations and chromosomes, which causes the certain different types of diseases and all. Important for us. If we are not supposed to go early in the bed and get early in the morning, so we are disturbing our circadian rhythm. If we disturb that our circadian rhythm, then what will happen? Our hormonal system will be disturbed. If our hormonal system will be disturbed, all the physiological and all the biochemical levels are disturbed. If we supposed to get the healthy lifestyle and healthy epigenetic, so we will get early to the bed and early to rise. हमारे पुराने समय में कहा जाता था कि ब्रह्म मुहूर्त में उठना उठना चाहिए और जल्दी सोना चाहिए. क्यों सोना चाहिए? बिकॉज दे नोज दैट दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर द हेल्दी लाइफ. So, nature refers to all the genes and hereditary factors that influence who we are, from our physical appearance to our personality characteristic. Whereas nurture refers to all the environmental variables that impact who we are, including our early childhood experience, how we were raised, our social relationship. So all these factors are nurtures nurture us. If we have the good environment, childhood experience, good childhood experience, how we will raise, social relationships, surrounding culture, then our epigenetic modulation will be in a better way. Our good gene will be expressed. But if we have negative impact of the environment, negative childhood experience, which is more often in this time, and how we are raised, and social relationship, which is negligible in this time, and surrounding culture, which is uh, approximately extinct. So all these things are negatively modulate our epigenetics. So do genetics or environmental factors have the greater influence on our behavior, or do inheritance trait or life experiences play a greater role in shape or your personality? So difference in rate of most of diseases between countries, or due to difference in environmental and lifestyle risk factor, not genetic differences. So what it means, our different rate of genetic burden of different countries is just because of their lifestyle. We are blindly follows the western culture, but we are not rooting to our own ancient culture. So if we I'm going to take the just a simple example of twins sister. So if Jennifer and Karen are two identical twin sisters, both are having the obesity gene, but Jennifer eating the healthy food, having the healthy lifestyle. So it's bad obesity genes are not triggered. It's not she is not obese. But in case of Karen, this she has the unhealthy lifestyle, having the unhealthy food habit causes the obesity onset of obesity gene, and she get obese person. So how these genetic factors are influence, how these lifestyles are affecting the genetic influences. So we all know Angela Jolie, who is the film star of Hollywood. So she removed her breast due to she is positive of BRCA1 BRCA2 gene, which is responsible for breast cancer. So this is the ethical issues we should do or we should not do. But there is something which I want to mention here. Just having the positive oncogenes is not responsible for that you are having a particular cancer or not. There are three main characteristic things like the genetic risk, genetics, lifestyle, and environment. All these factors are responsible for the getting a particular disease. If the genetics is worse, like the Angela Jolie had the BRCA1 BRCA2 positive, and lifestyle is also worse, which is not for her, and environment is worse, so the person will definitely get the cancer. In these days cancers are commonly occur because of environment is not good, toxic pollutant in our environment, food is also not very good, because we take the green vegetable, but is it green? This is a question for you. Is it green or not? So how we can overcome with the and how we can impact our epigenetics in a positive way. Nutrition is a better solution. We can get a better nutrition to have the better uh, epigenetics. So why I'm saying this? Because the study shows that the Dutch famine 1944 to 1945 in Netherlands, they having the drought condition. Due to drought, there are several issues at that drought condition. The females who have the gestations and having the children, they children's after 40 to 30 years, they suffering from the cardiac arrest, cardiac mortality, cancer mortality, and breast cancer as well. So we can say that what is how the nutrition play the important role in the epigenetics and genetics modulation. That's why our government is focusing on the maternal nutrition. Why maternal issue and nutrition is so important? Because maternal nutrition can do the miracles. Matter if maternal nutrition is good and her microbiome is good, her epigenome is good, then the our future is secure. Not only we get the healthy babies, but we have the healthy youth as well. Because this if the at the time of pregnancy, maternal women's not feeding well, then what will happen? Their epigenetics, the infant epigenetics is not well versed, and what will happen? They they get disease in their later ages. So we program our generation by the maternal nutrition in utero programming by availability of macronutrient and high fat mother milk which we can provide the infants. So this studies are ongoing that the if the mother have the sufficient nutrition, then the baby will have a healthy life throughout his or her life. But if the maternal have the under or overnourished, then the epigenetic changes in hypothalamic appetite regulatory gene will be occur, and the infant will be suffer from the metabolic disorder such as obesity and the diabetes. So here is the some experimental designs which I want to share with you, that the some beautiful mice, yellow mice, which has the agouti gene unmethylated and activated. If she pregnant and we did the diet supplement during the pregnancy and nourishment with the additional methyl group, then we found that the uh, offspring are this black one are healthier, brown one healthy, and these agouti genes in these are shut down or silenced. Only one mice offspring is the suffering from this health issues. But in case of if this yellow mice is if this yellow mice is pregnant and we don't get her dietary supplement, then what we will get? We get all the disorders. So why it is happening? It is happening just because of this agouti gene. What is this agouti gene? There are lots of pauses. So is it clear? This agouti gene is responsible for the metabolic disorder. If the methylation supplement is given to the pregnant mice, then what will happen? Methyl group is added in the this agouti gene, and this gene is silenced. Just like I told you that the epigenetics means the shut down and shut on the genes. It can express or shut down the particular gene. So in this case, in healthy condition, it methylated and this agouti gene shut down, and this protein is not formed. So it get the healthier offspring. But in case of this mice, this agouti gene is non-methylated because we did not supplemented with the methyl component. Then what will happen? This agouti gene is expressed, and these offsprings are suffering from the metabolic disorder. So only maternal health is maternal nutrition is not important. There are some thing which is important on the paternal aspect also. There are the some researches that they shows if the father having the poor protein intake in his diet, so ATF7 gene, ATF7 protein is absent in his sperm. If this protein is absent in his sperm, then what will happen? This child will suffer with the metabolic disorder. So paternal and maternal, both parents is necessary to have the import both parents is having the balanced diet. So many more food sources which are responsible for the nutrient of choline, folate, methionine, like dietary supplement of egg. There are lots of table I want to show, but there are some constraint with me. There are some student or not? If they are a student, then I will show the table. Okay. Thank you, sir. So nutrition, stress, and environment. All three factors are governing the epigenetics, and this epigenetics is governing the gene function. Gene function, which regulated by the epigenetics, if the bad gene will express, the person will get disease, and if good gene will express, then person will have the healthy lifestyle. Sorry, healthy life. So stress is important because stress trigger all our biological mechanism and create a chain of reaction which create a lots of issues with our health. So, if we want to modulate our epigenetic in a positive way, we have to improve our social interaction. We have to improve our psychological status, and we have to improve our diet. We have to go for our ancient fruit. We to uh, have to limit our toxic chemicals, drug abuses, and disease exposures, and we can increase or start exercise. We can improve our microbiome by having the healthy microbiota things like the yogurt and things. Therapeutics drugs we can minimize, and alternative medicine can act on this epigenetic modulation. Many drugs are coming in the for the epigenetic modulation. It in cancer, who shut down a particular gene, and the cancer cure. So and some stories we listen that the because of willpower he or she cure his diseases. What this willpower do? This willpower changes his epigenetics, which govern the genetics gene. Because of and now I want to summarize my lecture. So genetic is a focusing on the what kind of hereditary we are getting from our parents, and what is transferring to our offspring. Epigenetic focus on what external factors are involving to shaping the biological process, and how these epigenetics and genetic are interacting, and how these influences our biological system, how these genetics and epigenetics regulate the gene expression, and it impact the disease susceptibility by influencing the gene expression, which are good or maybe bad. So, environmental factor can influence the epigenetic modification, impacting the gene expression and traits. So, this environment, why I'm taking this environmental factor? Environmental factor, you can easily check that the industrial area as persons having the lots of asthma cases and lots of digestive issues and things, because of they're exposed to certain kind of chemicals. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to show to express my things in this platform. Thank you, Betkar sir, and thank you, organizing team.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the wonderful presentation. Now it's the time for discussion. Participants are requested. If you have any query, please come ahead. Discuss with resource person. Dr. Swami Shukla, sir, please.
Good evening, Dr. Bedkar sir, Prashant sir, and good evening, ma'am. Wonderful presentation. We could not see you, but wonderful presentation you have made about the epigenetic and its correlation with the various kinds of non-communicable diseases.
Thank you.
Nowadays, the non-communicable diseases are emerging very fast, and usually you'll find for the communicable disease there is a disease agent and a host and disease condition. That a very simple relationship is there. But when we are talking about non-communicable diseases, it has many roots, and I think what you are talking today's subject, epigenetic, yes, definitely it has roots in that. So the lifestyle of the person, how the person behave, how he lives his life, what kind of habits, bad habits, positive habits are having. So all those are having the impact on his health. Then you'll find the family influence is also there, the stress trend, whatever the person is getting at the family level or maybe the working place. So that also plays a role. And no doubt the environment, we are close with the environment. So anything external to the human body is considered as an environment, and we are very closely associated, and we are modifying our environment by various interventions, like we are having industrialization, urbanization, slum creation on our health. Definitely it has impact. So wonderful presentation you have made. You have clarified all these points and very well placed. My question is, when we are going to the genetic level, so the genes and or composition of the genes, at the time of conception, you'll find that genetic structure forms, and once it is formed, it cannot be changed. So what you feel, if you are having a positive lifestyle, positive environment, positive mental state, emotional state, can it change the genetic structure, nature of the person? That is my question. Thank you.
Sushma, ma'am, please unmute and then talk. Yes, ma'am. Now you talk.
Actually, sir, at the time of pregnancy, if you are हमारे घरों में कहा जाता है कि जो है प्रेग्नेंट लेडी को खुश रखिए, उसके सामने स्मोकिंग मत कीजिए, ये मत कीजिए, वो मत कीजिए. ये पुराने जमाने से हमारी दादी अम्मा कहती आ रही हैं. तो देयर इज द सम रीजन बिहाइंड इट. आई एम जस्ट फोकसिंग ऑन लाइट ऑन देम कि वहां पे एक मॉलिक्यूलर मैकेनिज्म छिपा हुआ है. दैट इज द एपिजेनेटिक्स व्हिच we have. If you are,
my question is, otherwise, I'm not talking about the conception now. How it will change a life in another person? If suppose the person was living in a stressful condition and we relieved his stress and we brought him in a good, comfortable position. It will have impact on the genetic nature of the person, or it will have just impact on the emotion and the mental state of the patient.
No. It have the impact on the genetic status. So that's why if you often heard that the one person didn't have the depression, but some sudden experience he or she had, and he get depressed. But after recovering with that depression, some small things get depressed his or her. Some small thing, just negligible things depressed her. Why is it so? Is it just because the gene is active in his or her body? Because of that incident only. So that changes is occur. So you have to careful about that every time.
Yeah, perfect. I think, this is a very important topic we are discussing, that environment, nutrition, and other aspects. Yes, definitely it has impact on the human health. And I'm a medical professional person, so naturally we ask them to modify. We consider what are the modifiable risk factors and what are the non-modifiable risk factors. So at least modifiable factors we can change them, and we can control non-communicable diseases like cancer, diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, hypertension, and nowadays the stroke is becoming so common. So definitely, thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful today's presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Initially, when type 2 diabetes patient came to you, if his or her HbA1c level is 5.7 or 5.8, you all are suggesting him or her to get lifestyle changes.
Yeah, the first thing.
Some of them are minimizing that his or her HbA1c level.
I literally insist to go for walk, to bring that HbA1c from 8.9 point to 6 to 5. So thank you, ma'am. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Firstly, I am very thankful for such organized committee of the webinar. Professor, Principal Dr. M. Betkar, sir, all these teams, and today, Doctor, excellent speech about the such diseases. My question is, I have not explaining what all these things, but I have doubt, and I have asking the one question: what are the remedies or the solutions to avoid such disease in our life?
I explain, sir. I just want to show you that slide only. We have to change our lifestyle. We have to wake up early, sleep early, and we have to not just we get the cold cough and cold, and we are going used to going medical store. I have a cough and cold, please give me some medication, and he or she blindly gave you some type means uh, 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 we are supposed to